Bonjour from the Pyrenees.
In this video, we are camping in the hearts of the Pyrenees here in France, and we'll be doing hopefully a little hiking, exploring a campground, but also something that we're really looking forward to, which is seeing the Tour de France go through the Pyrenees stage. So should be a fun set of adventures, and we're excited to see what we find. We have just arrived at our campsite here in the Pyrenees. It's called Camping Pyrenees Natura. Am I saying that right? Natura.
Yeah.
And we got here a little early, and they basically aren't quite ready for us. So they've sent us on an adventure to a mountain lake that's about a 10-minute drive away through the mountains. So we're gonna go have a nice picnic on the lake, and we'll show you the campsite when we get back. Welcome to the Pyrenees. It is remarkably hot for being in the mountains. It's probably like 80 degrees, maybe 85, and just like direct mountain sun. So we changed clothes, dunked Spark in the stream, and are now heading out on the walk. We'll see how far we get. Alright, so you can definitely tell right now this is a beautiful, calm mountain stream, but you can definitely tell that it's not always that way. There are so many trees and branches down here, like massive trees. You can tell with avalanches and snow melt, it can get pretty tumultuous up here. But today, it's absolutely stunning. Lots of nature on this hike. We've seen horses, cows, and now sheep. Just roaming around. So we just finished our hike on Friday evening here. It was really pleasant. Followed this kind of mountain stream through a series of waterfalls, and kind of turned around and kind of did a there and back hike. Very pleasant, very warm, and now we're heading back to the campsite. They've got a special going on tonight. They're cooking out, they're doing a French grill.
All you can eat barbecue.
All you can eat barbecue. So we are very excited for that, and have definitely worked up an appetite after our hike. So
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you.
So our hostess just explained how the barbecue works, and basically they are offering 3 types of meat tonight. So 2 types of sausage and lamb off the barbecue, and they are offering a buffet of entrees and a buffet of desserts. And it's all going to be relatively COVID friendly, so they have everyone's going to be wearing their masks to get their food and using the gel as well. So we're excited.
I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me.
been really nice having this dinner at the campground because we haven't really been going out to eat much in France, which is obviously sort of hard for us. So this feels like going out to eat without the risks of, you know, being really close to people. We're all well spaced apart, and I think the manner in which they're doing this is pretty much as safe as you can get. So we're feeling good about that, and we've just been really enjoying our meal and our drinks, and it's been very pleasant. Spark's here with us. Can't complain.
Good morning. It's our second day here in the Pyrenees, and we've woken up early because we're going to try and drive a little ways to see the Tour de France go by. And one of the benefits of waking up early is we're in this little valley, and you can still see the sun starting to rise and just starting to hit the top of the mountains behind us, and it's just a really pretty way to wake up and start the day.
Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars.
So my camping breakfast routine: baguette, freshly made here in the campground, some nice French cheese, and sriracha. Not very French, but very good. And then for dessert, either a pain chocolat or a pain with raisins, which isn't exactly how you say that, but very high carb way to start the day, but it is so good. So we are driving to see the Tour de France, and we're passing signs that show that we are on the historic Tour de France route. So I think this is part of the route that the first Tour de France went on, and at least maybe a few others in addition to that. I have never seen more cyclists in my entire life, and this is a pretty amazing climb. I think we're at 2,000 meters right now, and it's been pretty incredible how many cyclists we've been passing. So absolutely beautiful landscape though. It's really been stunning to drive this more scenic route, and we're really excited to see what the day brings. All right, we have arrived at part of the course for the Tour de France. It turns out that we did not arrive early enough to make it up to the peak that we were hoping to be at. The roads are already all closed, but we found a place kind of near the finish line and are walking to the road where they'll come to try and find a spot. They're still probably 3 hours out, so we've got some time.
Bonjour, bonjour à vous.
We are experiencing the caravan, which we thought was just one caravan. It's turning out to be probably 20 plus individual vehicles driving by and throwing stuff at us. It's very cute and very fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh, here's more.
I'm here with our latest correspondent for the Tour de France, Spark, with her co-anchor Curtis, and we're just waiting for the leaders to come down to the next phase. Should be about 30 to 45 minutes as they approach the finish line here. In case you're wondering where the riders are, 4 helicopters. Makes it pretty easy to figure out where they are.
That was incredible. I've never seen something like that so up close, and they are moving so fast. And I also had no idea how many vehicles accompany them, so that was news to me, seeing so many motorcycles and cars, ambulances and all of that. And yeah, definitely recommend if you're ever near where this is happening. It's really cool and it's completely free to watch, so definitely recommend.
All right, so we are walking back to the car now. That was super cool. We're gonna probably do a whole video on just like the Tour de France, but a couple things that we learned, this being our first time, and we really had no idea what to expect. One, it definitely is good to get there early. So we originally were gonna do the mountain kind of stages, but those roads closed way before we got here. So you need to get here as early as possible. Two, it's like totally free and actually like very chill. There's like no security. You just literally find a place to park, find a place to sit, and like you can see this field was still like wide open. We were expecting this to be like packed, but it really was pretty easy to find a spot that was far away from other people. And then you just kind of have a nice picnic and chill, and about, depending on where you are in the parade, or actually the parade, and where you are in the kind of course for that day, you'll have a caravan, they call it, come through, and it's literally like a parade leading the tour. And in our case, we were near the end, so it took about probably another hour before the riders got there after the parade. But it was super fun, super high energy, and then the riders go by and it's like unbelievable how fast they're going. So overall, like a really neat day, definitely recommend it, would definitely do it again. It was worth a 2.5 hour drive to get here through the mountains. It was beautiful, so we can't complain too much about that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very cool seeing this for the first time.
So thoughts from the Tour de France, it was definitely cool to see. I think my favorite part, well, the anticipation of seeing the bikes was really cool because you just can tell something really impressive is coming. But it was also really cool to experience the caravan, what they call the caravan, which is like actually a full-on parade, I would say, with these very decked out cars that are sponsored by various brands, and they throw things at you. It's very festive, a lot of fun, and you kind of, you know, are curious what's coming next. So we saw lots of giant things today on cars. Very cool, definitely memorable. And yeah, it was just a really pleasant way to spend the day, and excited to see some footage from today's ride.
Yeah, so that winds down today, and in case you're wondering why I'm frantically looking in the rearview mirror, I don't know if you could see that, but the police just went by with a bunch more Tour de France vehicles, and we are in a very narrow, tiny street. So that actually pretty well sums up our day, and it's been really fun, really glad we got to see this, like Megan said. And now it's back to the campsite. We're gonna get there pretty late, make a quick dinner, and then call it a night because we're both pretty tired. So thanks for tuning in to today, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Good morning. So this is our last campground of our trip here in France. And so I thought I'd take a minute just to kind of reflect on why we decided to do as much camping as we did, and kind of now that we've done 6+ campgrounds, kind of what our thoughts are. So when we were planning this trip, we knew that in order to be, kind of away from home for this long, it needed to be done as economically as possible. And of course, COVID added an extra layer of complexity to that as we were thinking about, staying in Airbnbs and making sure that we had places to work. And we looked at campgrounds and we started to realize that the kind of price per night was much, much lower. So to give you an idea, our kind of average Airbnb accommodation was somewhere between probably 80 and 90 euros per night, depending on the location. We tried to get it as lower than that, but the campgrounds that we've been staying at have averaged somewhere between 25 and 30 euros a night. And it's for pretty nice campgrounds and accommodations. And that is absolutely proven to be true. It is an economical way to stay in a lot of these places, and actually probably the only way to stay in some of these places. When you think about what we did in Carcassonne National Park, there were no Airbnbs or hotels nearby there. And so it was a really kind of special way to see the country. And I think that brings us back to where we're at today. We're just kind of reflecting on our camping experiences in France, and the economics certainly prove to be true. It's a very economical way to see the country if you have your own camping gear. And honestly, if you're coming to France, it may be worth just buying camping gear, and you probably still save money compared to hotels if you were to do it for a meaningful number of days. The other points, though, I think are actually probably more special. And it goes back to the ability to see so many different parts of the country and really experience the countryside in a way that you don't if you just stay on the main roads. So today we're in kind of this valley that juts into the Pyrenees, and waking up to the sounds of roosters and French bread being made and the smells drifting through our campground. And it's just something you don't get if you're just in an Airbnb in the middle of a city. And I think the last point that was really stuck out to me, and I think it clicked last night when we were at a barbecue that was being hosted by the campground owners. And it's really that by being in a campground, you kind of see what I'll call one of the more authentic glimpses into kind of French culture, and you really get to experience it in a way that's different than sitting in a restaurant in Paris, for example. And you can see and experience the emphasis on food and wine and community and the roles that those things have in bringing people together. And it's not pretentious. It doesn't feel commercial. It's just people living out their values, and you kind of get to be a part of that. And I feel certainly in the Airbnbs that we've stayed in, you don't get that same feeling, but it's really come through in our camping experiences. So it's been super special. I'd recommend it if you're thinking about camping. It's totally worth it in France. To be honest, not something that we had really thought about and associated with France, but some of the best camping we've ever done, and just so many special memories. So totally worth it. We're going to do a video when we get back to London on how what camping gear we have and how we can fit it all in a small duffel bag that doesn't take up the whole car. So stay tuned if you're interested in kind of what we'd recommend if you're thinking about doing a French camping road trip. And we hope you like these videos. It's been really fun making the videos of the different national parks, and it's been really special. It's a little bittersweet that it's coming to an end, but thanks for coming on the journey with us. And we still have a couple more weeks in France, so the videos aren't going to stop, but this is our last camping stop that we've got planned. So thanks for tuning in.